great down here in Tennessee. We don't need y'all to talk about us because we're going to talk about ourselves. We told y'all.
Well, Jake, it's a dub. It's a dub. Welcome in to Titans Tube, everybody. I'm Justin. This is Jake. And we get to do a winning edition of Titans Tube, Jake. Thank goodness. So Titans hold their ground. They seem to do very well holding their ground at Nissan Stadium this year. Who would have thought? The Titans are 4-0. If you told me the Titans are 4-0 playing at Nissan Stadium, while simultaneously having a disaster of a season, I don't know what I would make of that. It doesn't make any sense, but hopefully the trend continues because we got the Colts next week. But Titans getting the win 17-10. The first half was good. It was exciting. I enjoyed watching the first half very much. But that second half, Jake, it was such a slog, and it was more of the same Titans, that we've seen a lot this year, just pedestrian offense. But we can't be too down. I mean, we got to win, Jake. So let's be excited about that. Be excited for Derrick Henry getting 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. You love seeing him getting back into the end zone. Mm-hmm. And how about the defense, man? Lots of fun. It was a fun game for the defense. We got Jeffrey Simmons, our front seven, very active back there. So yeah. Anyway, all right, Jake. Take it away from me. What was your take? I mean, Carolina's at the bottom of the league, but you still like to see your team put out a good performance and win.
Absolutely, Justin. I mean, where is the excitement and energy? We've done 4 winning Titans tubes in a calendar year, and you're like, right. It was ugly. It was against the worst team in the league. Hey, I get those 2 talking points, but a win is a win, man, and it just felt good. I don't care how ugly the second half, and trust me, when I was watching the game, I couldn't even, keep paying attention in that second half because I knew neither offense was going to do anything of note. I know Carolina got into the end zone there to make it a 7-point game, and I said, I know I'm going to sweat this out for the rest of the day. And sweat it out I did, Justin, but that score held, and the Titans got back on the winning side of things. And like I said, I don't care how ugly, I don't care who the opponent. Feels good to get the win at home. As you said, right. Derrick Henry headlined the victory, Justin. He had a pretty good day. 18 carries for 76 yards, 4.2 a pop. But those 2 touchdowns were enough to put the Titans over the edge against a very not-so-good Carolina team who fired Frank Reich. The Monday morning after the game, Justin. Yet again, we're late on our Monday shows. You'll have to forgive us. But the only thing I could come away from this game thinking was, I feel like I've told the story on this show before. My family vacation down in Florida, drove back all the way up to Ohio, right through Nashville during a preseason game with all the festivities, and that was when I became a Titans fan. The only come away I had after this game was, thank God we didn't drive through Charlotte coming home from a family vacation, because the Titans are the only team more miserable to watch this season than the Tennessee Titans could be the Carolina Panthers, Justin. And hooey! Did you go to the game on Sunday?
I did, very much.
Nice.
So I was there in the stands,
in the misty gray.
It was pretty in that regard. But it's just a good fall day. Some ugly weather and some just sloppy football being played out there. It was fun. It was a good environment. The stands were not very full as you would expect, but the fans that were there were into it. They made noise whenever things got exciting. So it was good.
Absolutely.
It was a good experience for sure.
So, thank God they got out with a win, Justin. That would have been a brutal experience if they choked it away. But hey, end of the day, Titans are 4-7. We need to be positive here. We need to, we always talk about the yin and the yang. When you're low, I'm high. When I'm high, you're low. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. I thought it was an overall good day for the Titans, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first half was very promising. I mean, the strip sack, you love to see that from Arden Key, really just trying to put your foot down on a game like, hey, we are in control of this thing. And being able to score a touchdown after that was so 100%. Huge. And you love seeing Big Jeff being on the money, that ball just bouncing right into his lap. Big Jeff has had the ball in his hands for 2 straight games now, catching a touchdown against Jacksonville last week. And now this. You love to see Big Jeff having a huge game, 3 tackles for a loss. He was living in the backfield along with Autry. Again, we've spoken about it before. What an incredible free agent signing this guy was. Yep. We have gotten more than the value, the money value that we paid to get him here. He has been that good, that consistent for us. But anyway, in the first half, and especially at the very end of the first half, Jake, where we force a punt and the Titans take a couple shots down the field and put themselves in field goal range, right? Dude, we haven't seen that in forever. Like I was so proud. I was so proud, getting misty-eyed. I was getting misty-eyed in the mist of watching our boy Will Levis growing up so fast, running that 2-minute offense and putting us in position. And how about Nick Folk continuing his fantastic. We got a couple of bangers here on special teams with Ryan Stonehouse again crushing it with Nick Folk. I think he's just missed 1 kick, and it was over 50-yard kick so far this year. No missed extra points. It's that season. It's that kind of season for us, Jake. We are celebrating our special teams players more than anyone on this team.
Love it.
But yeah,
love it.
It was good. It was good. And I would like to have been, a little more pleased and impressed, or just happy with the win. You would want us to kind of maybe put a little more distance there in the second half, but
for sure,
Titans could not find a point, as you said. But the defense held strong. So, good performance. And I am excited. Trust me. It may not be coming out a whole lot. It may not be flowing out. I mean, I celebrated all Monday, man. That's where all my excitement went.
Fair enough. But
I'll tell you this, dude. If the Titans can rally, and dude, if there's one more game, if I can only pick one more game to win for the rest of the season, it's next week against the Colts at home. I do not want to get swept by the Colts this year. That would be the one last ask I have of this Titans team this year. But I will say, dude, if the Titans can rally and get that win and put themselves at 5-7, I'm gonna be crunching some numbers. Okay, let's what I'm gonna be that guy, dude. I'm gonna be. So what do we need? Who do we need to lose? I'm gonna be looking at the playoff picture again, dude. I think if we beat the Colts next week, which is so insane.
I love that you brought that up, Justin. I saw a tweet today. I'm going to reference a couple other tweets here in our positive spin category here, but I saw a tweet that said the Titans are 2 games away from the wild card 7 seed and 2 games away from the number 2 overall pick, Justin. Which way, Western man? You have to pick your own adventure of which way this Titan season can go. I love that you said you'd be crunching numbers because I've already been looking at the playoff picture to confirm that was even true. I can't believe the Titans are only 2 game back. Of course, they're in a field of, 6 or 7 AFC teams all duking it out at around 500 to get that. But I love the optimism there, Justin. I love you throwing out that you can do some number crunching. Before I forget it, I want to give some flowers out to Denico Autry, Justin. This is another stat I saw on Twitter. I wish I had it up in front of me, but credit to whoever posted it. And I'll have to do some receipt digging to see if this is true or not. Denico Autry is now the 2nd player in Titans history to have 3 seasons with the team where they notched 8 or more sacks. Can you name the other player?
Yes, actually I can because I heard this stat as well. I think it was on the radio. Javon Kearse, baby.
Denico Autry joins elite company in Titans pass rushing history with Javon Kearse as the only other player with 3 seasons in the two-tone blue with 8 or more sacks. Give it up for Denico Autry. I mean, talk about the value. You were talking about he was worth way more than what we brought him in for. He has been all that and more. So flowers to Denico Autry for sure. I wanted to get that off of my, stat brain plate before we moved on too far. But yes, Justin, the Titans, if they can rally and go get a big divisional win against a scrappy Colts team at home, where they could move to 5-0 in Nissan Stadium on the year. I love this little narrative that's forming here. Anything to keep us, invested, engaged in this team, Justin, because we were talking about busting out the brown grocery bags, not the paper ones, not plastic, just for
Yeah,
reference.
we're not taking that crazy
No,
stuff.
not that serious. But the brown paper bags last week to maybe we can crunch some numbers and get into this wild card race. I love it. I love the duality.
The wild
of
ride
fandom
we're on.
It is a wild ride. Justin, it was a good day for Will Levis as well. You were talking about him growing up. I feel like he looks pretty good out there. I know he was kind of pedestrian in that second half, but very efficient numbers, very game manager type numbers, which is what we were seeing from Tannehill even in his best days. Will Levis was 18 of 28, 185 yards,
better.
No touchdowns, no picks. Could have been better. Threw a couple interceptable balls.
Oh,
and he did miss a couple deep downfield shots that I don't know if you got in the stadium or not, but he missed Kyle Phillips on what would have been a touchdown, and he missed DeAndre Hopkins on what would have been a long distance touchdown. Right. But oh well, it's a rookie quarterback working with a rough shot offensive line, trying to get his footing. I believe in Will Levis, especially if he gets a full offseason underneath his belt, knock on wood that he doesn't get hurt or have to go through rehab or anything like that. And I think the future could be bright under number 8, Justin. I don't know if you feel that same way. I know we're talking about having a franchise quarterback coming off a win where they posted 17 points, and that was just enough to squeak by the team with the number 1 pick in the draft. But I don't know. I'm feeling optimistic about where this could be going. There's a lot of smoke and rumors about Mike Vrabel and Rand Carthon and whatever you make of that whole Twitter mess. It just feels good to win again. I don't care about any auxiliary drama or anything. It just feels good to see one go through the hoop. I don't know if you're in the same boat or not, but man, does it feel good.
It changes the whole complexion and the vibe of just not just us talking about it on this show, but your sentiment or your feelings in general as a fan. I mean, we joke about it. You start to look at other teams and what their record is, and you can start to crunch numbers. Is there a way? Is there a path to the playoffs? And it's good for team culture, team building, and the players, want to win as well, obviously. So yeah, it's good all around. If you want to talk about draft pick, you mentioned Carolina having the first draft pick, but they actually do not have that first round draft pick. That belongs to the Bears, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Bears got to win. They got to win the other. So hey, we didn't really lose that much draft positioning.
We're still top 10. I think we're number 10 right now.
Oh, I didn't even know we're that far up. I thought we were closer to the top 5. But okay, that's great. That means the farther we are down the list, the closer we are to making the playoffs. But this was going back to Levis. This was a good game for Levis in terms of the protection was better. It could be Carolina's pass rush isn't as good as other teams we've faced in the past, but just allowing him to take reps, reading a defense, getting help from a running game and Derrick Henry. I thought that was going. It wasn't spectacular, but it was steady, and it was enough to pace the offense. And so he was getting help from the running game. He had, I don't know how many times he got sacked, but he was able to sit back there and read the defense and make some throws, and he missed some throws. And so, I think it was a good kind of growing up game, and he did those good things. Rushing the offense down the field in the last 30 seconds to get a field goal. He had a couple nice throws, on the. I think it was the first touchdown to Henry where he punched him from 1 yard out. Chig Okonkwo, thank goodness he kind of made a little more noise today than this was the Okonkwo I think we were more expecting to see all season.
Yep.
So it was good to see him, getting the ball in his hands. But yeah, I think this was a solid game for Levis. No turnovers, and he got protection, and it was just a good game from an experience standpoint. You saw some things that you get better on, but you saw some things that he is good at, and things that you like to see would show that he could be the guy. And I think, he didn't do anything to dissuade those sentiments there. So Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was good. It was a solid day for Levis and the whole team as a
Yeah,
whole.
no doubt. And early on, even right after that Atlanta game and going into that Pittsburgh Thursday night game and the Will Levis era, if you will, I was worried that he is just staring down DeAndre Hopkins over and over and over again. And why would he not? You know, DeAndre Hopkins is seemingly the only wide receiver on this team who can get open on a consistent basis. But looking down the stat sheet, Justin, it's exactly what you want to see from the rookie quarterback, spreading the ball around, getting it to different playmakers. Hopkins still led the way in yardage with 3 catches for 49 yards. Again, another great, efficient day from Hopkins. But you mentioned Chig Okonkwo. Welcome back to the team, man. Welcome back to the fray. Welcome back to
Where'd
the
you go?
flame. He had 4 catches for 45 yards. Nick Westbrook-Akina, who I feel like has been quiet as of late for Nick Westbrook-Akina standards. He had 4 catches for 41 yards. Chris Moore continues to make plays down the field for this team. Who would have thunk it? He had 3 for 41, and Josh Wiley contributed with a great catch over the middle for 11 yards. So Will Levis spreading the ball around, spreading the wealth. You love to see that in his early stages. It was just, you know, I honestly, Justin, I think it might have been my fault, the second half production drop for the Titans, because once they put that Nick Folk field goal on the board, I was thinking 30 points.
You're thinking 32.
I knew Carolina was bad enough. We might get another turnover. All we need is 2 touchdowns to eclipse 30. I was thinking 30, but of course have to pump the brakes. The hunt for 30 continues, Justin. I don't know if we're going to get it this season, but hey, hey, it's okay. It's all right. There is optimism abound after a win. And I'm just chasing that feeling down the line. Justin, I have another positive stat for you if you would like to hear one.
Yeah, I would love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, when is the next time we're going to score 30? That's the one I want to hear.
We are stopping and smelling the Derrick Henry flowers. I feel like I haven't been able to say that phrase in a while. It's a phrase I said a ton in my early seasons on this channel, you know, 2019, 2020, 2021, we were smelling the Derrick Henry flowers every single week. And Justin, we got a big one to smell right here in a good way. Titans running back Derrick Henry is the 8th player in NFL history to have gained 9,000 rushing yards and 80 rushing touchdowns before turning 30 years old, joining he said he was the 8th player. The 7 other players are all in the Hall of Fame. So shout out Derrick Henry. Love to hear those kinds of stats. He eclipsed 9,000 on Sunday, and he added those 2 touchdowns to his resume. Now, I don't know if Derrick Henry is a first ballot Hall of Famer like the other guys on this list, Jim Brown, Eric Dickerson, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Marshall Faulk, LT, and Adrian Peterson, who I don't think is in the Hall yet, but he is probably first up when he's eligible. But that's a great list to be on, Justin, and it cements Derrick Henry's greatness. And I know that it's easy to think in a lost season that the king is falling off. He's not putting the entire team on his back and we're sprinting down the field and saving us from mediocrity. But it's awesome to get to watch this guy and see his whole career play out in two-tone blue. I still want him to come back, Justin. I know we were talking about moving on from Derrick Henry as a philosophy last week. And, talk about the duality of fandom. I was ready to break up. If you love something, let it go. And now I'm back saying, no, let's get him 10,000 yards. And I don't even care. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep the accolades rolling. That's just the duality of being a fan. And I just want to salute number 22, Derrick Henry. Thank you for everything you've done for this franchise and continue to do for this franchise. It's always good to see those accolades go down and see him join the company of 7 Hall of Fame caliber running backs. So love to hear that. Love to see that. Shout out Wes on Broadway for tweeting out that stat.
Yes. Well said. Yeah. I want him back too. I hope he wants to come back on a team-friendly deal because, you want to see – I would love to see him finish out his career with the Titans, but I know that's a hard thing to do in this day and age in sports. But I don't think we're going to – I mean, it's the NFL. Teams get good and get bad pretty quickly. We could be good again next year. I mean, we need to shore up the offensive line and then see what we have. Like, he might want to come back, and we should have Hopkins next year, right?
We can't let Hopkins go. I hate to say it for DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe he might not want to be on this squad, but we cannot let him go.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, like unless he does a demand for a trade type thing, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I mean, we bringing him back, and we fix the offensive line. If Levis can progress through having a full off season to prepare, you shore up the defense a little bit too. You do all these things to the roster, we could be good again. I'm saying I'm pretty much touching everything. But I mean, I'm trying to look for reasons why Derrick Henry would want to come back. If it's not just like money based, or I mean, if he just wants to win and he wants to go straight to the Eagles like all the other Titans are doing.
Don't say it, Justin. You had to say it out loud. You said the E word out loud.
They're fine. They're fine with AJ Brown and Byard. And I don't even who's their running back.
Swift, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, he's doing fine.
Swift.
He's great. Yeah. They don't need Henry. He'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking myself out of this not being the last ride we have with Henry this season, and hopefully it's not. But you still love to see him, going out there and having a good game and really carrying the offense in a lot of ways. So big time shout out. Good flowers for Henry as well on that.
Of course,
9,000 yards. So yeah.
Even if it's a 17-10 win over the worst team in the NFL, Justin, I love giving out flowers when flowers are due, and just seeing a win on the schedule, crunching the numbers for the wild card race. I mean, the Titans won't officially be back in the wild card race until I see them in the hunt graphic. Yeah. I need to see an official network in the hunt graphic with the Titans there at the bottom at 4-7, maybe 5-7 if they can sneak a win against Indy next week, Justin. I know the Titans are 4-0 at home. They just find the winning formula in Nissan Stadium. Do you have any level of confidence at all in taking down Gardner Minshew and the scrappy Indianapolis Colts team who keeps winning, actually, Justin? I think talk about a team in the playoff hunt. I mean, shout out the Colts for putting together a scrappy season. But again, it's Colts hate week. So I need to move past that sentiment and figure out a way to hate them enough and will my hate towards Nashville in order to produce a Titans win on Sunday. What's your confidence level out of 10?
Will your hate? Man, it's great you can do that. I'm confident we've got the home field advantage, and this team just seems to kind of play differently whenever we're at home. And man, did we have to hurt Anthony Richardson? Because I thought, there's something about Gardner Minshew, man. He showed us the first time we played him.
Yep.
He just has this team's number. It's in some way, shape, or form. He just continues to scramble around, make plays, avoid sacks. I hate the way he can avoid sacks back there. I don't know. We're just like allergic to him whenever we finally get into the backfield. We cannot bring him down. Dude, I would love to get a win against them. It's not like a coin flip, 50-50. I don't know. I'll give the Titans a 50% chance to win.
Okay.
You asked for optimism too, and I'm giving 50-50. It's bad. It's bad, man.
If I didn't ask for optimism, you'd be a 2 or a 3?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what would make it a 99 confidence level is if we don't let Zach Moss run for 160, or might as well be 200 yards against us. Zach Moss, he went off against this Titans rush defense, and I think Jonathan Taylor Thomas is going to be missing the game. Correct? Mm-hmm. I think he's out.
Correct.
So it's just Zach Moss that this defense needs to hone in on. And I would be totally confident because we did not do that at all in the first game against them. Make Gardner Minshew beat you with just his arm. It'll make them one-dimensional. I would be so much more confident if I could trust this running defense. So there you go. It's I don't know, 50-50. That's somewhere in there. It's my confidence. But
I appreciate even the 50-50. I thought it could be a lower number as we discussed, but I'll take a 50% and I'll be on that 50% train with you, Justin. There's something, speaking of run defense, I mean, talk about something that fell off a cliff in this Titans season. We were hanging our hat for the first 6 weeks up until the bye on our rush defense being a top 10 squad.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just trickled down and down and down and down to the point where, yeah, we might give up 160 or a 200 to Zach Moss, as you put it. But it's going to be about forcing turnovers. As you saw
Yeah.
in the Carolina game, if that strip sack
Huge.
by Arden Key doesn't happen, do the Titans even beat the Panthers? Is this a 10-10 tie at the end of the day? I mean, it very well could have been without that defensive turnover there. And so it's going to be about punching the ball in the end zone when you have the chances to do it, which is something the Titans did well on Sunday against Carolina, and they need to do it again on Sunday against Indianapolis. Justin, I would love to see this go through the hoop, and I would love to start crunching numbers on next week's episode to see
crunch?
how the hell we can get back in this thing. But it would probably take a lot of help from a lot of other teams. But hey, it feels good to be alive. And as Jim Carrey once said, so you're saying there's a chance. And that's all we need, Justin. That's all we need. The Jaguars were also 3-7 last year. And look at them. They ended up in the playoffs. So they got a lot of help, and there's no reason why the Titans can't also get a lot of help, but it starts with them helping themselves on Sunday at Nissan Stadium, Justin.
It took us losing 7 straight games for them to get in. So it was a miracle for that to but yeah, we did it for another team. Another team needs to return the favor likewise.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, the tone could totally change, dude. I mean, it feels good to beat the Colts anyway, but to beat the Colts to then maybe start again bringing up a conversation about playoffs. Maybe it's 5-7 still seems like a trash record. No 5-7 is on pace for any playoff talk, but we can talk about whatever we want. This is Titans Tube. This is our channel. We can speculate playoffs.
Exactly. And it starts with real and ripping off wins. So you crunch the numbers, look ahead at the Titans schedule, Justin. I advise you to not look too far ahead, because after Indianapolis, we have a road trip to Miami to play the red hot Miami Dolphins, who might score 70 or they might go for 100. They might go for the all-time scoring record.
Have the skip button ready on my TV. I see a ball go deep, and I see Tyreek Hill running down there by himself. I am changing that channel so fast. I'm not going to watch that play out. It's crazy.
Crunch the numbers, be optimistic, but don't look too far ahead, Justin. Do you have anything else to take us to the barn on this week's winning episode of Titans Tube?
We won. That's it. Let's ride this win as long as we can, because who really knows if we're going to get another one of these this season. So enjoy these, because they have come too few and far between. So feel good for now.
Absolutely. I'll cheers to that, Justin. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz. Tighten up as always. Feels good to get one back in the win column. Tighten up. We will see you all next week.